Well, welcome to Argentina, Mr. Oliver Stone. We appreciate very much your work. You are one of the most important filmmakers, and we appreciate your sharp intelligence and also your way of detect some changes, some turning points in history, such as Vietnam, Kennedy, Wall Street, and now Latin America. We share with you the idea that we are in the very, very important process, political process, and you have the opportunity to be with presidents, to observe people, and to look what is happening here. The first question is, I would like to know your impression, your perception about those changes, and if your opinion about which are the 2 or 3 goals that this process is achieving, and which are the 2 or 3 risks that that process can
You've
face.
asked me 5 questions here, Telma. I think you know the answer, but just to be brief about it, I've always, I don't know, I think I've been interested my whole life in the rights of the underdog. You know what underdog means? I mean, in Vietnam, I saw so much abuse of civilian population that I was young and I was brainwashed, but it took me years afterward to understand what happened in Vietnam. And I saw the process of arrogance when I went to Central America in 1985 with Richard Boyle, 84, and I saw what was going on in Salvador, and I sensed what was going on the borders of Nicaragua because the Contras were everywhere. In Honduras, where I was,
yes.
Costa Rica even was militarized by the U.S. CIA, and Guatemala was a secret. So I saw this horror show in Central America, and I was disgusted by soldiers and American soldiers in uniform all over Honduras, waiting to go into. I mean, I really do think that Reagan would have launched an invasion. Another invasion of Nicaragua if it hadn't been if he hadn't had problems with the Oliver North scandal with Iran.
Yes.
So I just felt like the same thing that happened in Vietnam, so I was really turned off, and I made a movie called Salvador. It didn't do very well commercially, but it did well critically. So in America, I found did not have much interest in Latin American affairs at all.
Yes.
Except musicals or comedies. It was, you know, nothing serious about, and reporting was very, very biased, especially in the establishment, against Nicaragua, which was, and then I went to Nicaragua and I met the family. So, you know, one thing after another, Marcos in Chiapas, I went there, and I came to do Fidel Castro with Fernando Surichin, my producer of this movie. I made 2 movies about Castro,
yes.
and they were completely, well, the first one was a big effort, Comandante, and it was censored. It was not allowed to be shown in America. And I was, again, disappointed. And we did another documentary about him. So, and that was shown, but it was, you know, minimized. It was not shown a lot. I mean, Americans don't care, frankly, about this.
About Latin America.
The politics of Latin America. They're bored by it. They think of Latin people as their housemaids and their gardeners and their people who work in kitchens. It's a misunderstanding, profound misunderstanding. It's growing now that the Hispanic population is getting bigger in the United States. There's more power to it, but still there's a bias. It's racial, partly racial, and it's cultural. So anyway, just to get to your question, I came down here south of the border, and I met with Chavez more than once with Fernando, who knew him well. Castro had recommended us to Hugo because he liked the movie Comandante, and he liked the fact I didn't edit him badly. In American television, they come down, they make an interview, and they edit it in a way it makes it look like the leader is negative, hostile, and all that stuff. So we did an honest interview, and then Hugo liked what we did very much, and I liked him. I think he was he was what he was.
Charming.
He's a charming bear of a man, and he's straight, says what he means, and he cares about making his country a better place. And it's simple, you know, but people make it complicated. But
you believe in that?
He really wants to make his country a better and more equal place. That's simple. But sometimes simplicity is misunderstood. So we decided, Fernando and I and our crew, to go on and talk to 5 countries and 7 presidents about who Hugo Chavez is. And that led to this movie, South of the Border, which is a view, I realize, not just of Venezuela, but of social transformation in the, what, six countries of South America. I do not include Chile. I do not include
Colombia.
Colombia,
Peru,
no, Colombia is a bad
and
one.
Peru.
And Peru. But I include everyone else, and I think I was stunned to see the faces, the face of a liberation theology bishop in Lugo in Paraguay, an intelligent, free-thinking lawyer in Argentina, and Cristina, a hero, Nestor Kirchner, a hero, a statesman, a man who fought the International Monetary Fund when nobody was doing that around the world. I mean, very few people have taken it up against the economics of the United States policy. And then, of course, Mr. Lula in Brazil is a trade union member, and he's come up from the ranks. Chavez is a soldier, poor soldier, who was elected twice by a vast majority of the people. And then lastly, there's an Indian in there, a real Indian. There's never been an Indian in South America, never, who led a country.
No, it's the
and
first
he looks,
time.
and he's the real thing. All these people are real, and you see these people's faces, and you say, what's wrong? It's like another world here. This thing is, everyone is working for the betterment of their country. It's not like the old days when South America, they would be corrupt dictators or oligarchs, and America supported these people. So I would say, why is America not supporting these people?